Gals, Never here from Drake Wing Gaming, and somebody on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you with a Let's Play episode of Heroes Advent. We are jumping back into Max's path. As you can see, it's been a little while, y'all, so it's not quite been a year. Well, no, actually, no, I'm an idiot. It has been a year. Yeah, 2024. It's been over a year. Goodness, getting close to damn near 2 years here since I fucking played. Damn. Okay, well, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Most of the food was thankfully finished off by the time you all were done. Alex was the first to retreat to his tent once again, while Cody was busy washing out the plates, cutlery, and pans of the water he'd collected earlier in the day. The three of you were still resting by the fire when the dragon stood up all of a sudden. Going somewhere? Yep, I'll go take the first watch. You don't? Max shot you a look before correcting himself. All right. Get me when you start feeling the first bit tired, though. Yes, sir. Ray mockingly saluted Max before turning to begin his patrol. I guess we should rest after that climb. Yeah. Good night, Cassian. See you in the morning. Good night, Max. With that, you split up, going to your respective tents, closing the flaps and settling into your sleeping bag. That's why Max is always so laser-focused on working for the guild. Because of his brother. Is that why he acts so strangely about everything else, too? Max. With a sigh, you rested your head, feeling the entire weight of your body leaning into the sleeping bag. Despite this day being quite mundane, there was still so much that went down. By then, sleep overtook you easily as you dozed off into the nothingness once more, and I think this is where it gets updated. Yep. I think so. Maybe. Please. More content? More content? Is it more content? Yes! More content! When you opened your eyes, you found yourself in the void once more, suspended in nothingness, deprived of all senses. You braced yourself for another vision to take hold of you. But nothing happens. You waited a little while longer until something finally came into being. But nothing does. Not the nightmarish castle corridors, not the oppressive, suffocating throne room, or any of the landscapes you had visited prior. All you could hear was the familiar hum of the Akai. Without anything happening, you tried to drop down to the ground. As your feet touched the ground like ripples in a lake, a pool of white formed around you, as if illuminated by a spotlight. You looked up to find the source, only to see a blinding strip of rainbow glimmering like Christmas lights floating in the air. As you reached out to the lights, they wavered, the further your hand reached for them. Pulling away seemed to make them return to their original positions. The end is never the end. It's 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 never the end. Never the end. Never the end. Hello? Who's there? Ow! Okay, coffee is complete. Let me move the water over here. Give me 1 second, y'all. There we go. Alright. Your head felt extremely dizzy, as if you've heard something mixed in with the crystal hum, only that you could not make out any of the words. Be not afraid. Oh no, I've heard those words before. Corruption. Entropy. Decay. Nothing matters in the end. In the end... Question mark. You heard it again, or maybe you didn't. Maybe the void was playing a trick on you. What? I don't understand. You decided to answer nonetheless. What ails ye? You still can't quite make out what you hear, but it sounded like a question. My name? You need my name? The fates shall unveil, for aeons cometh. Give it your name. I think it's fine to give it your name. It doesn't actually seem, I guess, malignant or ominous or aggressive. Cassian. My name is Cassian. Well met, Cassian. I am Cassian. You're me? As in, like, the other me? The other self. I have heard of such a thing. But no, I am not you. I am Cassian. I am an echo of your name and your voice, such that we may communicate in earnest. What? Who are you? Another one of the king's servants? I am servant to none. I am Cassian. And Cassian is a part of the self. The guardian of this forest, the place you call home, and what you call world. The guardian? You stared out into the void, shooting a look of disbelief in no particular direction. Is that not what you call those that watch over others in protection? I guess. Hearing your own voice speaking cryptically back to you only made things more confusing to process. Well, whatever you are, why are you here? Why are you here then, Cassian? He moved to give a snarky retort, but the question itself rang with uncertainty. To solve the problem with the corruption? And why? To protect the city? For what purpose? For the safety of her people. At what gain? None, I guess. Is this truly what you believe in? Yours is a fate condemned to an unending pursuit of temptations. I guess? What does that mean for me? The self is a paradoxical being. Forever changing, yet insistent it remains the same. Purging the self to make room for the self. Purging what? Many uncertainties remain, yet already little can be done to alter any outcome. In spite of limitless potentiality. You're not making any sense talking in riddles like that, yet you understand the implications. My curiosity remains sated. You shan't hear from me again, unless the time is right, at a different crossroad. Fare thee well, Cassian. Wait! At that moment, the ring you were standing on seemed to flicker before phasing out of existence entirely. Once again, you were falling, seemingly towards a bottomless pit until... Your eyes snapped open, quickly realizing it had all been a dream much more different than the ones that had plagued you before. What did the voice mean when it said purging? You shook your head wearily, setting aside the ominous warning as your mind slowly returned to reality. It was already late in the morning, judging by the sunlight beaming over the tent. Did I oversleep? I hope Max isn't too upset about that. You pulled yourself off the bedroll, putting on your clothes. I wonder if Alex is finished yet. I don't know if I could handle another hunting trip after yesterday. Doesn't sound like anyone else is up yet, though. You stepped out of the tent, heading to see if anyone else was awake at the fire pit yet. But you soon found Max and Cody already there, eyeing you as you stepped out of the tent. Ah, Cassian, good morning. Morning. Hey, guys. Did I oversleep? You sat down next to Max on the log. Not at all. Maybe a little later than I'd like to see. You should be more mindful of how much you sleep, Cassian. Too much sleep isn't good for your body, and could jeopardize the timing of field operations, you know. Oh, come on, Max. Don't go lecturing him like that. He only woke up maybe 5 minutes earlier than Cassian, after all. Cody, how could you steal my thunder like that? Sorry, couldn't help it. So, guess I'm not in trouble for sleeping in, then? Nah, I'm just messing around, Cassian. Nothing so serious. We do need to wait for Alex to update us on the Akai readings, after all. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, where's Ray? Oh, he's still on patrol right now. We traded shifts after I went back to sleep, remember? Probably not, since I was already asleep by then. Oh, right. Actually, speaking of which, why don't we do some warm-ups for now? Should be in time for a ride to get back after we're done. Sure, why not? Alright. Have a good one, guys. Just don't take too long. Won't be long before breakfast is ready. Understood. Let's go, Cassian. You joined his side, doing what warm-up exercises you can as he went through his routine. By the time you finished, it's built up an appetite for the two of you. You decided to lag behind a bit to catch your breath, as Max went back to the camp first. Welcome back, Cassian. I hope Max wasn't too harsh on you there. It's fine. That said, though, maybe I could use one or two fewer sets next time. Oh, you can't say that. Now I'll have to punish you with even more warm-ups. I know how you feel, Max, but you can handle not pushing yourself every day. The Malamute pouted, crossing his arms, shooting you a playful wink before retorting to the bear. Well, maybe not warm-ups, but I won't skip out on steaks. Of course not. We still got plenty of venison left. Make sure it's extra juicy and make the slices thick. Sure. I know your preferences, Max. Oh, morning, Alex. Morning, Al. Morning. Hey, where's Rye? I thought he was here. He shouldn't be gone long. I asked him to get us some fresh water from the river for breakfast. Ah, must have been mistaken then. I heard talk about thick and juicy meat. Had me almost certain that he was here. Nope, just talking about breakfast. What the fuck? Of course. I'm not talking about his dick, Alex. He sat around for a while before the dragon eventually returned. With everything settled down, Alex brought up the readings for everyone to see. So, from our analysis, the Akai maintains a constant Magi frequency that projects the ether shield around the forest. These are consistent with the frequencies used in the original blueprints. He brought up a copy of schematics that you could loosely identify as the Guardian Crystal. All the notes attached to it make no sense to you, however. A stabilized frequency that repels anything that cannot harmonize with it by causing a significant amount of dissonance. That's why it can repel nether beasts that are lousy with corruption, but not the netherite dust that are independently too small to get caught in the net. That's one way of putting it. It could be that nether has some particular behaviors that don't repel them in microscopic amounts, but we can't theorize that now. However, there was something I noticed the longer we logged the readings. While the overall resonance is the same as the Guardian Crystal, the way the fluctuations work isn't the same at all. Alex pulled up 2 additional charts on the ones you had taken at the camp and another side by side. These are our readings, and these are logs from the lab monitoring the Guardian Crystal. They're identical as far as I can tell. Looks like it, but something doesn't feel right about it. Alright, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon or YouTube memberships if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!